Man behind ProCap's Laboratories, home of the vitamins and supplements HSN customers love. Plus, we'll learn about his monthly specials and more. And now, the man you've all been waiting for, and
well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Night Show.
Adam Freeman, too.
Indeed, Andrew Lessman is here to talk to us about his wonderful vitamins and supplements. It is always a joy when Andrew is in town. I love doing these. I know a lot of you do as well. Andrew, sir, the last time I saw you, I thought you were in Colorado.
I was.
He was on the phone with me, and the next thing, you appeared.
No, I had said it sounds like we're right next door. And we were. So that was great. And the look on your face was priceless.
I thought I'd seen a ghost. I just didn't understand how this man in a blue shirt was walking towards me.
No, because you first looked at me as though you didn't recognize me. And I'm thinking, oh, he must have known I was here somehow. But you had no clue. It was great.
Well, I'm excited to get into these 2 hours. These 2 hours, Andrew, they're always dedicated to the viewers, right?
Well, when we do the Monday Night Show, of course we roll through products, but what we're really trying to roll through are questions. And as I often say, the most important thing I provide, it's not my products that you need to get, but in general, the health and wellness information, which I try to provide just objective information that of course is accessible online and you could validate online, but that's the most important thing I provide. And you could look at clinical studies that have nothing to do with drugs or medicines or dietary supplements, but they say a more informed person is a healthier person. So the more we learn, the healthier we become. And that's what I try to contribute to today.
And we're going to start off with a quick presentation of one of Andrew's wonderful products called Nighttime. For those of us that have trouble switching off at night or find it hard to relax and fall into a nice, relaxing sleep, Andrew's created something that is not addictive and works like a dream, as proven by the reviews, Andrew.
Well, it's a natural product. It's designed to simply give you a complement. It provides melatonin, of course, because that's a natural sleep supportive hormone in our body, but it also provides botanicals at levels that won't cause a hangover, that aren't going to stay with you the rest of the day. But what I always like to talk about with Nighttime, talking about education, is the most important thing that we really need to master if we have issues with sleep, is something called sleep hygiene. A lot of us don't really respect the environment that we sleep in. And in order for us to sleep well, that environment, it needs to be dark. You need to eliminate as many electronic devices and their lights that illuminate our environment as possible. And there's all sorts of research about increased cancer risk with shift workers when you sleep in an environment that's too light. So we want an environment that's dark. We also want an environment that's cool, between 62 and 68 degrees. It's beneficial to get accustomed to sleeping in a cooler space. We cool down our body, we cool down our brain, we sleep better. In fact, there's great clinical studies that simply showed they took like a swim cap that it had cool liquid running through it that cooled someone's head, and that performed as well or better than many sleep drugs. And of course, simply cooling your room and creating a hygienic environment, as they call it, that's not, well, it might be habit forming, but it's habit forming in a good way. So to the extent we understand caffeine consumption as we approach later in the day, it stays in our bloodstream, it affects our nervous system for 8 to 10 hours. So we definitely want to cut off caffeine as early as possible during the day. And if we're struggling with anxiety and things like that, then caffeine's probably not a good idea, period. So there's a number of things we could do, including becoming aware of what foods, when they're consumed, and how they might affect our sleep. Never a good idea to go to sleep starving. Also never a good idea to go to sleep stuffed, because either one is going to affect the depth and the quality of your sleep. So there's so many things we can do that could incrementally improve the quality and the consistency of our sleep. And just as sleeping poorly begets more poor sleep, sleeping well and developing those good habits begets more positive sleep. And to get back to Nighttime, it's just simply designed to be a gentle product that returns the opportunity to put ourselves to sleep as we had learned when we were children, and to stay asleep, which our crazy, busy, hectic lives seems to deprive us of those skills we acquired when we were younger.
Well, one of the things that I have always enjoyed growing up from England is, of course, a great cup of tea. Although my tastes for tea have changed quite significantly since I met Andrew, because Andrew has a line of teas which are magnificent, the highest premium quality. And Andrew, I'm thrilled that we're showcasing your gorgeous chamomile tonight.
Well, our chamomile tea is it's Egyptian chamomile. For a while, we were totally out of stock when there was a certain degree of political instability in the Middle East, or they calling it the Arab Spring.
Right.
Unfortunately, our organic chamomile tea was unavailable. So it went away for a while because I'm not going to replace it with an inferior product. Our chamomile tea is made from the blossoms. I actually put a tea sachet into, I think we might even have an image of the tea blossoms that we use to make the tea bags. But you could even, there you go, you could see them there. Then if you look at the tea bag I'm holding here, you could see the blossoms here.
Yeah.
So most teas end up using all sorts of random parts of the tea plant. We only use the chamomile blossoms. That's the reason why when you make this tea, I can steep a pot of chamomile tea. I could leave town, it's in the refrigerator for a week. When I come back, it's not bitter and the tea is still in there. So whether it's our chamomile, our mint, any of our green teas, they never become bitter. And I had just put that tea bag in a few moments ago, and you could see the beautiful golden color. It's like a honey color. And you could, as you saw there, that's probably a quart in that teapot.
Right.
So you can make with one tea bag, you can easily make 2, 3, 4 cups of tea. That's exactly what I do at home. I use these large teapots in the refrigerator, and they steep for days. So they never get bitter, and that's the benefit of using great teas. You could fully extract them so you get all of their goodness because you're not limited by the bitterness. So no bitterness at all. And talk about a soothing ritual before sleep, nothing better than chamomile tea.
Tea can be so wonderful, and a lot of us, we're creatures of habit, and we have our go-to drinks, and maybe we're coffee drinkers. Having a cup of chamomile on an afternoon or an evening, it just kind of relaxes your mind, body, and soul, doesn't it?
And especially when it becomes a ritual. In Japan, there's an entire tea tradition associated with how they make their tea and enjoy their tea. And it forces you to slow down.
Yeah.
So much of how we live now, we're constantly overstimulated. We can't even sit down to a meal anymore without everyone at the table multitasking on their smartphone while they're talking to one another or not talking to anyone. So we're just so overstimulated, it's rare that we simply sit down with a cup of tea and relax. That's why meditation, something that I do, it becomes, other than when I exercise, it becomes the only time of day when I'm sort of doing nothing. And it's a significant effort to do nothing, to just stop your brain from spinning around. And there are a few things more beneficial, and it's been shown again in clinical studies in terms of the health benefits of meditation, just finding a way, whatever you might call it, simply quiet time or prayer, meditation, whatever it might be, simply quieting your mind is incredibly beneficial for creating a more dynamic and active mind when you choose to use it.
I do want to let you know that we are streaming live on HSN's Facebook page. If you have any questions for Andrew, I can certainly see them here and ask him as we go along. I know a lot of you have already submitted questions, and we have a long list here. So definitely stay with us for this show, because it allows us a chance and gives us the opportunity to really get personal with you and answer things that you've maybe been curious about specific products, about things in general.
And the questions, again, we have a number of questions that I'm going to try to go through, but with each and every product, there's a whole range of questions we're asked. What we're typically asked with our chamomile tea, and of course it is organic, and with all of our products, they're all gluten-free. A lot of folks have sensitivities, and we make sure that every product we make has no common allergens whatsoever. It's something that from the very start of my company, we didn't make products that most people could tolerate. Our goal was to make products that even those of us with heightened sensitivities, extremely sensitive stomachs, you'd be able to take all of our products. No tablets, only capsules, all pH neutral, non-acidic, mild to even the most sensitive stomach.
And Andrew, as we head over to the next item, I'd love to just kind of bring to everyone's attention that on each of your bottles of vitamins, there is actually a toll-free number which folks can call to speak to your experts, right?
Well, that's something that we've done. We've realized from the very start, especially, and that was 39 years ago, but over the last 39 years, we realized the most important thing we do is support the product after it's shipped to you. most vitamin companies, once you get the product, whether you buy it at a store or you buy it online at some website, you're on your own.
Right.
And that's never the case here. Certainly with HSN, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have the support of HSN, but our phone number is there as well. And you could speak to someone on the phone, your doctor could speak to someone on the phone if they had specific questions about the ingredients in a product. And if they can't provide the answers, then those questions are coming to me and I'll be providing the answers. So our goal, as we often say, is to I try to make each purchase an informed decision, an informed purchase, and we make sure that once you get it home, you remain informed. To the degree you want to stay engaged with us, you're welcome to call us all the time. That's why we're there. I
don't want you to think that it's only on these days or on these occasions where you have access to Andrew. It's just not the case. Every day Andrew's available, and that's his passion, to make sure that everybody feels empowered about what they're selecting, what they're choosing, what they are taking. Well, we're going to move to our next item, calcium magnesium with no stomach upset.
And the reason I mention this now, a lot of folks use calcium magnesium sort of as a mineral supplement that tends to be soothing and relaxing at the end of the day. So it's a product that they often enjoy at night because calcium magnesium often recommended for doctors to deal with, say, cramps in the legs or things like that. The problem with typical calcium magnesium, and when we introduced our calcium magnesium intensive care 39 years ago, its most distinguishing characteristic was the fact that it came in a capsule, an ultrafine powder, forms that were soluble, because the only defining characteristic of a typical calcium product was an upset stomach, a rock-hard tablet that upset your stomach.
Right.
So our goal was to create a product that delivered the benefits you seek, which goes for every product we make. That our goal is to deliver a product that delivers those benefits, but with none of the typical problems associated with any other product.
And that's a big, big deal. And one of the messages that you'll certainly hear woven throughout this show is what Andrew does and the research and the science that goes into all of his vitamins. I know many of you tuning in tonight have been with Andrew for so many of these years. From when Andrew started on QVC, our sister channel, to here now at HSN, everything has been done with our wellness in mind. Well, if you want to look at the numbers, it's a hugely rated customer pick, 4.7 stars, which says so much. Incidentally, throughout the course of tonight, we won't really be going over pricing per se. I'd rather, and I know Andrew would certainly as well, we focus on the great information, but just know that all the pricing and the questions, the pricing is all good until tonight, all of your weekend pricing.
We have anniversary pricing this time.
Yes.
Because this is our 22nd anniversary here at HSN. As I said before, I started doing this in 1979, 39 years ago. I started on television at QVC in 28 years ago in January, so
unbelievable.
It passed in the blink of an eye. If anyone doesn't agree that time flies,
it's true.
It's in my world, it has just flown by. So in 22 years here at HSN, in October of 1996 is when I started here at HSN. And it was the same goal back then when I first came here. My goal was to provide exceptional information more than anything, and of course products that would never disappoint. And what's wonderful now with the internet, I get a report card, which I've had products that the report card hasn't been good. We go back to the drawing board and we improve that product. And with our calcium magnesium intensive care, this is a product that for 39 years, it's been dramatically different. And when you compare it with all of my products, whether it's Essential 1 or multivitamin or omega-3s, I think part of the reason they're so exceptionally well rated is because all of the other products you might compare it to are really not made with an intent to make your experience enjoyable. So we intend to deliver benefits, but also make it an enjoyable experience too.
We often get a lot of questions about vitamin K, and we're going to spend just a couple moments on vitamin K so everybody gets a clear understanding of how beneficial this can be and if you want to take it in partnership with others.
Yeah, I just noticed a question here talking about vitamin A. By the way, none of our products contain preformed vitamin A. Preformed vitamin A, perhaps fine for a child to take, but really no adult needs to be taking preformed vitamin A. We can get whatever vitamin A we might need from a carotenoid source, and that's healthier. But in terms of vitamin K2, vitamin K2, the vitamin K2 MK7, we often think about vitamin K1 in terms of blood clotting.
Right.
And if you're taking a blood clotting medication, some of those medications, not the newer medications, but some of the older medications, you had to be cautious about your vitamin K consumption. But vitamin K2 MK7 is different. Vitamin K1 directly affects blood clotting, and that's why you have to be aware of that in terms of blood clotting. But vitamin K2 MK7 has a different role. And the role it plays is in terms of calcium utilization. Calcium utilization is something that we want to encourage in our body. We just spoke about calcium magnesium. It's integral in terms of our bone. It's a structural component in healthy bone. And as we get older, both men and women, we have to be conscious of that and conscientious about that. But vitamin K2 MK7 is critical to ensure that calcium goes where it's supposed to go in our bones and doesn't go to other tissues we don't want it to go to, such as our vascular tissue, arteries, and cause calcification where we don't want it. So vitamin K2 MK7, I've said this before, I consider it among the most important single vitamins that anyone could consider supplementing. And when you look at the research, recent studies talk about arterial flexibility. Just in short-term use of vitamin K2 MK7, it's an opportunity we don't want to miss.
There's so many questions, Andrew, and it's interesting. There's one that's just popped up.
Feel free.
That we always get, and that is from Dawn asking about gummies. I know you answer this every time.
Well, I recorded a blog that is still posted on wordsonwellness.com, but gummies, they're an insult to our health and an insult to our intelligence. In fact, decades ago, there was something I think called the jelly bean rule that was discouraging companies from taking high-calorie candies and simply putting a little vitamins in them and then being able to call them healthy. Frankly, gummies that contain 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 calories or so of basically sugar,
right,
and all sorts of other additives and whatnot, that's unnecessary. It's an insult to our health. Gummies are, originally gummies were just a little bit of a fad. Now I suspect there are billions and billions of gummies being manufactured and sold in the United States. And if it's one thing, if it was the only way to get a child to consume the nutrients they required, but most of them are being consumed by adults. And we blindly consume them, not looking at the label. We're probably using sweeteners in our coffee to avoid a 12-calorie packet of sugar, but meanwhile, our gummies contain 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 calories of sugar. That, as they say, what is it, caveat emptor, buyer beware? We really need to get in the habit of reading labels. And as far as I'm concerned, gummies, most of them that you see in the mass market are artificially colored. Yeah. Crazy to pick a health product with artificial colors. Right. I still can't comprehend why the leading multivitamins use artificial colors. So again, whether it's omega-3s or vitamins, whatever it is, they put a token amount of nutrients in this dosage form that basically is gelatin or other ingredients and just sugar to make it taste good. So it really has no place, I think, in a health regime, and hopefully they're just going to go away like any fad should.
Well, Andrew, there's a few people that watched you over the weekend with Ultimate Friendly Flora and the Today Special, which I know a lot of you picked up. And if you're tuning in, there's a couple of quick fire questions. Can we just do these now?
Sure,
just reel these off. Carmen's asking the best time to take probiotics, and are they best taken with foods?
Definitely best taken with food.
Okay.
In general, most supplements are best taken with food because that's when all of the digestive processes, including nutrient absorption, are stimulated in the presence of food. But probiotics are definitely best taken with food, and there's no specific time of day that's better than another, but taking it with a complete meal is best. And as I always say, with vitamins, you take them when you're going to be most compliant.
Right.
You'll take them when it makes it easier for you to enjoy them most consistently, because that's how you derive benefit, is by using them consistently.
An easy one. Pam asks, 1 capsule or 2?
Easy question. Typically, 1 capsule is plenty, unless your doctor specifically told you for a certain reason that you need more, because our Ultimate Friendly Flora, especially for this Today Special, was 30 billion colony-forming units. That's it's perfectly balanced and very high potency, so 1 capsule should be all you need. And
we'll, one last one for now. Judy's asking that she read an article claiming that probiotics or gut bacteria are beneficial for people with anxiety or depression. Do we know if that's true?
That goes to the gut-brain axis. And there's some fascinating research talking about the role that these probiotic species play in our body, that not only do they play a role in digestion and the immune system, but they're also playing a role in terms of secreting chemicals that communicate with our nervous system, with our brain. So it's called the gut-brain axis. We can't say that probiotics are going to be a cure or a treatment for whether it's anxiety or depression or anything like that. But of course, to the extent we maintain our body in a healthier fashion, we'll be able to contend with those issues better. So I'm not going to say, as some companies will, that these are a cure or treatment or anything for anxiety or depression, but certainly it's a step in the right direction in terms of overall health.
Thank you for your questions. I ordered my Ultimate Friendly Flora yesterday as well, so you're not alone. We're going to rattle through some wonderful, wonderful presentations in this show and some products that you didn't get to see over the weekend. We're going to head over this way, I believe. Andrew, I've always enjoyed talking to you about really where you started, how you started, your mission statement. For me, it all kind of comes down to Essential One, which is, I suppose, in this day and age, surely the most popular vitamin, a kind of one a day, right?
It was our first product. If you go back, in fact, originally in 1979, we called it Essential Factors, and because it was more than one capsule. But Essential One, because we've gotten better and better at manufacturing products without additives, no lubricants, flowing agents, no additives, 100% pure, ultrafine powder. That's why you can take all our products, and even if you took them on an empty stomach, they're not going to upset your stomach. As I said before, better utilization takes place when you take it with food. But Essential One is just as a healthy diet, the foundation for a healthy diet are foods rich in nutrients.
Right.
That's a nutritious diet. The same foundation in terms of nutritional supplementation is a multivitamin, multi-mineral supplement, because that's giving you the vitamins and minerals that define a healthy diet. Unfortunately, things like vitamin D, not available typically from our diet. Vitamin B12, not available typically from our diet. In fact, most supplements not even available. Ours happens to be available, bioavailable from our supplements. So Essential One is a different approach. It's a single capsule, yet we treat it as though vitamin D and vitamin B12 are separate nutrients, because if you look at the science, most Americans are deficient or insufficient in vitamin D and B12. So the product has to respect the fact that we need to deliver those nutrients in a more significant fashion than certain others in a vitamin mineral supplement. So we don't use random numbers to create our supplement. We use the science to arrive at a balance that delivers what you need. Not simply what random numbers have been assigned in the past as minimum daily requirements or things like that, but what the science says that we need to pay attention to.
I get very passionate about Essential One because I've been taking this now for several years, and the joy of this presentation is that Andrew and I can honestly look you in the eyes and say, if you compare Essential One to perhaps the multivitamin that you're taking, maybe it's Centrum, maybe it's one a day, Andrew, it's a fair statement to say that there is no comparison, right?
Well, with all due respect, I don't even consider those brands our competition.
There you go.
I mean, it's hard to imagine. It's just like going to the Indianapolis 500 on a bicycle, maybe even an electric bicycle, but it's still not a competition. I mean, the fact that they still use artificial colors tells me that they're speaking to entirely different people than I would choose to speak to. When I look at their product, the changes are so limited. Things like lutein, lycopene, zeaxanthin, the carotenoids that are so expensive yet so important, and that should be in every single multivitamin, multimineral out there, they basically ignore them. All the major multivitamins, they'll have a tiny bit in one or two formulas out of dozens of lutein and a tiny bit of lycopene, but no zeaxanthin, and 95% of the formulas in the mass market have no lutein, no lycopene, or no zeaxanthin. So when you start looking at things like that, yes, they're a multivitamin, and I'm making a multivitamin. You know, theirs is made in a tablet form, which is more difficult to swallow, is more difficult to digest, is more likely to upset your stomach. And again, ours is an ultrafine powder in a capsule. So there's although we're both multivitamins, and say a bicycle and a car are forms of transportation, one has little to do with the other. And I actually, and I'm not kidding when I say I really don't consider them our competition, because anyone who would look at their product and look at my product, you just have no choice, especially as affordable as our product is for all that you get in it, and also all that you don't get in it as well.
I just, you know, I find it upsetting because a lot of us, we put good faith into things that we purchase and buy, and we see commercials and advertisements, and we believe, of course we believe, because we respect the company and the big name and the history. But here's the truth. The sad thing is, today and tomorrow and the next day, people across America will wake up and they will take one of these tablets that Andrew's laying out, and we'll feel good because we'll think, oh, we're doing something great for ourselves. But the truth is, it's not as good as it should be.
Well, I say it's better than nothing, but you look at those are all colored with artificial colors. Many of them several artificial colors, and I just don't comprehend, certainly when there's an abundance of natural colors available that they could choose. I can't even comprehend. If they feel as though, with my products, I feel as though the color is the color,
right,
and you're happy with this if it's beige or whatever color. And all mine is, and you can see the difference. Those companies received their nutrients as powders, and they then take those powders and they have to add waxes and binders and basically glue to then compress them so that they stick together and form a tablet. We start with these powders. Our big job is to blend those powders, and the hard job is to get those powders into a capsule like this, right, without using additives. So we keep it pure. They approach it an entirely different way.
Even if throughout the course of the show, and we desperately want you to stay and learn and get excited with us, but if you just walk away with one product, highly recommend Essential One.
And when you get that, you're getting 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 and 250 micrograms of the most sophisticated B12 in the world. Those two ingredients alone are like a separate vitamin D and a separate B12. So that's worth the investment here. Plus, just the lutein, lycopene, and zeaxanthin you get every day is more lutein, lycopene, and zeaxanthin than you're likely getting from your diet every single day. And those are the three most expensive ingredients in this formula, which is why you don't see them in other multivitamins. You have to get something separate in order to get them at all. So it's a very different approach, but it's an approach, if you read the reviews, most multivitamins are not particularly enjoyable. They're challenging to swallow, challenging on the stomach. This product is almost perfectly reviewed, and you won't find reviews talking about an upset stomach, not a one.
As we head over this way, a quick question for you from Delia. Delia asks, what's the difference between the Essential One and the Women's Complete, Andrew? Please help.
Well, the Women's Complete is and especially there's a Women's Complete with omega-3s. The Women's Complete is designed to deliver higher levels specifically of calcium magnesium. So with just calcium and magnesium, the additional levels are more than 2 additional capsules. Right. So Women's Complete also has slightly higher levels of vitamin C, slightly higher levels of vitamin E. So it's a packeted product. It costs significantly more per day. Right. It's going to cost roughly about $1 a day, whereas Essential One costs about $0.25 a day. So it's much more expensive, but it provides the combination of, say, calcium, magnesium, intensive care combined in. It also combines in some separate vitamin E and things like that, and separate vitamin C. So yes, it's higher potency, but it's significantly more expensive.
We're gonna keep going along. I do see all your questions here, folks. I promise we'll get to as many as possible. We do need to shine the spotlight on Andrew's CoQ10. I don't think there's any one of us hosts that does not take Andrew's CoQ10 at this stage.
And we'll be brief. This was our Today Special last week. Right. As long as what we try to do during this 2-hour show is answer a lot of questions that relate to all the different products, so we probably cover more than 24 products in 2 hours. But CoQ10, if Essential One is really the foundation, CoQ10 is sort of, you know, option B in terms of a foundational supplement. Right. Because CoQ10 is essential for all energy metabolism. It also comes with a full B complex. It also comes with vitamin C. So it's sort of a junior multivitamin. Right. It's not a full multivitamin, multimineral like Essential One, but it gives you CoQ10, which I view as perhaps the central molecule in terms of all energy production. But I view it as if there's something I try to do, I try to eat, I try to live, and I try to supplement. So I retain some of the youthful characteristics that we all tend to lose as we get older. And I view CoQ10 as really being at the top of the list of anti-aging nutrients. And certainly there's a whole range of things like vitamin D we need to pay attention to on a daily basis for our good health. But CoQ10 I view as really, again, top of the list of longevity and anti-aging.
And to really give Andrew, you know, his due here with this, you were the gentleman that kind of put this on the map so many years ago.
When I first put CoQ10 in a supplement in 1984, I am not aware of anyone else who was making a supplement using coenzyme Q10.
Wow.
The folks I was getting CoQ10 from in Japan, the original makers of CoQ10, there was no one else that they were aware of offering CoQ10. So it's something that I've been doing for 34 years. Gosh. And I've been making vitamins for 39 years, and it just shows that CoQ10, things like glucosamine and chondroitin, CoQ10, omega-3s, many of us think that these are rather recent innovations. I've had a glucosamine chondroitin product for 39 years, a CoQ10 product for 34 years, an omega-3 product for probably about 37 years. So it's something that we have an abundance of experience making these different products. And the one thing I can absolutely say is, as great as our products were of each of these kinds when we introduced them, today, these products, unlike other companies, we've changed them dozens of times. We continue to improve them as we're able to improve them, whether it's new raw materials or new technology, we continue to improve them.
Joanne asks, Andrew, can your products be taken if I'm taking other medications? How would we answer that?
Typically, these products, given that they're natural products, they're natural food supplements, there shouldn't be a conflict when you're taking them with medications. However, I always err on the side of caution.
Yes.
So to the extent it's possible, it's always best to take your dietary supplements, your nutritional supplements, your vitamins with food, and to separate them from medications. Not that there's a large risk of a potential problem. Even at times people would caution about fiber interfering with the absorption of certain fat-soluble nutrients or fat-soluble medications, but the significance is greatly exaggerated. But regardless, it's always a good idea to separate them. So it's not problematic, there's not a conflict or contraindications or potential problems. It's just sort of discretion is the better part of valor. Take your medicine separately from your supplements.
We're going to head over this way and talk about one of Andrew's other big, successful, highly popular, highly reviewed products, and of course that's Maximum Omega-3.
Right.
But Andrew, just as we get into it, Kathy has been taking your essential Omega-3 for a long time, and she's thinking of trying krill Omega-3. Is there a difference between this and that?
Oh yeah. As far as I'm concerned, krill is a very poor investment. Krill costs much more. Each pill is going to contain less of the omega-3s you need. And if you look at the science and research on omega-3s, it's on fish oil, it's not on krill oil. Plus, krill is a primary food source for marine mammals. And when we start interfering with the krill supply, in fact, with our omega-3s, we are very diligent about making sure they're independently and environmentally harvested and all of that, certified independently as being environmentally harvested. Plus, when it comes to omega-3s, fish oil, there's already an enormous fishing industry that is mostly capturing these fish for animal feed or things like that, animal feed, fertilizer, things like that. So the omega-3s is a useful byproduct. So it's not a primary cause of attacking or going after those fisheries. Krill, when they're going after krill, they're going after krill for dietary supplements. And again, as I said before, it'll be much more expensive. They talk about the astaxanthin that's contained in it. It's traces of astaxanthin. If you want astaxanthin, you need to take a separate astaxanthin supplement. Krill delivers traces. As far as they talk about the phospholipid forms of the omega-3s, again, no convincing research that that's better. And again, you're going to be spending multiples more for krill. You're going to have to swallow more pills because they're not as concentrated. I can find no good reason and dozens of exceptional reasons reasons not to invest in krill. And I have a krill supplement, but I've decided not to manufacture it again.
Wow.
So the inventory we created, it's just going to dissipate. We're not going, so it'll be available online, and then it's just going away. I view krill as being, until I learn otherwise, if someone was growing krill and harvesting it from a farm, okay, the environmental issues go away. But that's not what's occurring. They're out in fisheries that our marine mammals depend on, and they're fishing for krill. And I don't care if it's environmentally certified, I just don't buy it when it comes to krill. And anyhow, we work hard for what we have to spend on supplements. You deserve to get more bang for your buck than you get for krill. And the only real reason krill is as popular as it is today, frankly, I don't know how I say this politely, is there was a doctor on TV who I believe was being very well compensated to talk a great deal about krill and to basically exaggerate its beneficial properties when investment-wise, you just need to get a high-quality omega-3 supplement. Unfortunately, a lot of omega-3 supplements on the market focus on the wrong form and things like that, but my omega-3 product is far less expensive than krill. It delivers far more per capsule, and it delivers the balance and form you want, more DHA than EPA in a natural form. So it's so hopefully that answered the question, and it's something I'm fairly passionate about. I recorded a blog recently talking about the fact that I thought krill was something that wasn't really environmentally responsible to be harvested, to be produced, and it's much more scientifically supported to be consuming standard omega-3, high-quality omega-3s from fish oil.
It kind of goes back down to, if you're taking an omega-3 product right now, genuinely, there is no comparison to what Andrew puts out in terms of the form, in terms of everything that goes into it. No fishy aftertaste, of course. If you'd like to try it, we still have our anniversary pricing, but that expires tonight.
So I'm sorry if I got a little passionate there.
No, please.
But it's something that krill oil, I look at it, if krill was truly better, I would be all over it. I would be excited.
Right.
But all it is more expensive, much more expensive. It's like ubiquinol with CoQ10.
Right.
It's just much more expensive, and the science doesn't justify your investment. Certainly, you would think as a manufacturer, like other folks out there, I'd rather sell something more expensive. No, I wouldn't. I'd rather sell something more beneficial that's less expensive. And when it comes to krill, once again, that's, if we care about marine mammals, I mean, it's important that we do. The devastation that we are causing on this planet, we've got to take our little opportunities when we can to make good decisions as consumers, and avoiding krill oil, as far as I'm concerned, would be a responsible environmental decision to make.
We appreciate the honesty. I love it, and I know you do at home as well. We're going to head over here. I think this is going to be an easy one, Andrew. Carol asks, essential one. I know. Well, that's because you're so smart. Is it okay to open a capsule and put it in a smoothie?
Absolutely. In fact, all of my products, you can feel free to open the capsule. The Essential One, you could open a capsule and put it in a smoothie because it's such fine powder, because it's so taste neutral. Despite it being a high potency multivitamin, it's so taste neutral, you could do that. Folks take our cranberry, they take our Ultimate Friendly Flora, they mix it in water, they use it as a mouth rinse. So the probiotics can populate your mouth, so cranberry can also have its beneficial effect on your mouth, but you don't spit it out, you swallow it.
Right.
So you could rinse your mouth with either of those. So feel free, any of our products are green foods, perfect to mix with water, gives it a little green taste, and you get the benefits. Our fruitful antioxidants, you can mix that with water, it's a beautiful purple color, and you get all the benefits of all the berries.
We had a few questions, Andrew, about how to lower cholesterol on our Facebook live stream, and this is the perfect product to talk about and reference that. If you have not seen Andrew's monthly special yet, Choco Nouveau is a sensation that I know is now in the homes of so many of you. Chocolate that tastes creamy and delicious and is good for you, but lowers cholesterol. It's like a miracle. It's like a dream come true. Andrew launched this, I believe, a couple of years ago. It's become really at the forefront as of one of his best sellers. It comes in 3 different variants, the 66%, 74%, and 91%. And that just relates to the strength of the dark chocolate. I always get excited about talking about this. I'm going to munch away on one for a second while Andrew tells us there's nothing else like this in the world.
Nothing. It is, without question, the most heart-healthy chocolate available anywhere anywhere. It's truly a unique invention. What I started with was dark chocolate, but just not any dark chocolate. I'm probably like you and most Americans, I kind of prefer milk chocolate. I don't like bitter chocolate. I like the richness of dark chocolate, but not the bitterness of dark chocolate. But what we were able to do with this product, and first I had to select from, and most of us don't realize there are just thousands of varieties of chocolate from around the world, principally coming from 3 places: Africa, South and Central America, and Asia. So you need a certain kind of warm climate, a little bit of altitude, I believe, and that's the best climate, that best environment for growing chocolate or growing cocoa beans. And then when you taste all the beans, it was pretty clear that beans from South and Central America seemed less bitter. So those were the best varieties I found. And then what I did is I combined that dark chocolate with our plant sterile esters. Plant sterile esters, the ingredient in my Cholesterol product is a fine powder that lowers cholesterol. This is the same ingredient, slightly different molecular form, that also lowers cholesterol. But if you look at it, it looks like fat.
It does.
And it behaves like fat in the chocolate. So what we did by combining that with chocolate, we turned a dark chocolate into the texture of milk chocolate. What gives milk chocolate its creamy texture is milk fat. What gives our dark chocolate its creamy texture is plant sterile esters. And unlike milk fat can serve to raise your cholesterol. Our plant sterile esters lowers total and LDL cholesterol, can help to reduce the risk of heart disease, and it turns our dark chocolate into kind of it's almost like if milk chocolate married dark chocolate,
right.
That's what you have here. So you could have a 91, which has less than half a gram of sugar, half a gram of sugar in the 91, a little over a gram of sugar in the 74. So it's incredibly low in sugar, it's not bitter, it's rich dark chocolate, it's creamy like milk chocolate, and it lowers your total and LDL cholesterol. There's truly nothing like it in the world. It's just 26 calories a square. And you could find gourmet chocolate, that's $1 or $2 a square. This is a fraction of that, and it contains a cholesterol-lowering ingredient that even as Cholesterol is probably about 30 or 40 cents a dose,
right.
And the plant sterile esters are even more expensive. So this is, you're either getting chocolate or you're getting the cholesterol-lowering. So it's, when you look at the price of this, you're getting both, and you're getting a gourmet chocolate that's both organic and fair trade. And a lot of the most exclusive chocolates are not organic and fair trade as well.
Think about maybe this holiday time, you know, when friends or family come over, have some Choco Nouveau out. It's going to be a new experience, and you know, you and I and Andrew can go to the mall, to the gourmet chocolate store. It's expensive. So with this, you're getting better for you chocolate that so many of us think tastes better and is better for you.
No, it's better for you because it's low in sugar. It's better for you because it contains the plant sterile esters that lower total and LDL cholesterol and can help to reduce your risk of heart disease. So, and that ingredient, the plant sterile esters, it's recommended by the American Heart Association.
Right.
It's approved by the Food and Drug Administration. It's recommended by the National Cholesterol Education Program. So it's an ingredient that works. It delivers the benefits we're talking about, and you'll be enjoying the best chocolate you've ever had. And you don't have to believe me. You could read the reviews. And when I first introduced this, I actually expected the reviews, because I can't make milk chocolate. Milk chocolate is delicious, but it doesn't have the health benefits of dark chocolate. So I knew that when I chose to do dark chocolate, I was going to not get great reviews. So I figured it would be around 3 stars. But in America, for dark chocolate, that would be fantastic. As it turns out, because our chocolate is so creamy and so unlike dark chocolate, I think it's rated 4.2 or 4.3 stars. And so
4.3?
4.3 stars. So it's a product where 85–90% of the reviews are positive reviews. Pretty crazy.
But really it is, and to know it, to try it, is to love it. I do want to tell you all of these items are on extended returns. Let me just explain what that means for a second. This is the only time of year where Andrew is on television or available online, where all of his products, maybe it was the omega-3 or the essential one or the Choco Nouveau, and you'd like to give it a try. You have through October and November and December and through the end of January of 2019 to decide if it's right for you, and if it's not, of course, you return it for a refund of the purchase price.
And my favorite chart here is the sugar chart. When we compare the levels of sugar in our 26 calorie square versus 26 calories of healthy fruits or 26 calories of healthy vegetables. And what it shows is just how successfully we've designed this product. When you look at our Choco Nuvo, and this is probably gonna be the last airing. This is our monthly special, but we won't be on TV again this month, so this is the last opportunity you'll see it on air. But as you see, the 91 has less than half a gram. Technically, we could label that 91 as having 0 sugar, because if you're under half a gram per serving, you could label it as 0. So you see the levels of sugar in a square, 26 calories. That's the level of sugar in 26 calories of those various fruits. That's amazing. And what's really amazing is when you look at the levels of sugar in 26 calories of cauliflower or 26 calories of cucumber, it's higher than any of the different forms of Choco Nuvo. And again, what's great is this is the holiday season. This is when we could use as much help as possible in reducing the absorption of cholesterol from the food we're eating, reducing the reabsorption of bile. So just enjoying this over the holidays. And this will take you through, because of I guess the money back guarantee goes till January 31st. So this will take you through January 31st. So we have ample time to try this during the toughest time of year and watch how successfully it helps you with your cholesterol numbers.
As we head over the next way, Andrew, I've got a slight backlog here with people. So Judy and Lynn, well, first of all, Lynn wants me to tell you that that she has a little dog named Marcel as well.
Aha, Marcel.
He is 12, and we were wondering, and so is Judy.
Yes.
When are you bringing out those pet vitamins?
It's something that is coming soon. I just before I came here, in fact, because if we make pet vitamins, obviously they can't come in capsules. So what we want to do for pet vitamins, we also want to do what we do for humans. We want to limit the additives in the product. So what we're going to do with pet vitamins is they'll come in little packets, like little sugar packets. Okay. So whether it's a joint product or an eye product or whatever it might be, it's even marine collagen, glucosamine, these are things that are beneficial that I give Lincoln and Marcel. So what we're going to do is have them in little packets. It will be the most affordable way to create them, and all you do is you sprinkle the product into their food. So Lincoln and Marcel, and actually I just got my mom a little puppy.
Oh, did you? What kind?
Same as Lincoln and Marcel.
Mike.
And
name?
Lincoln was a mistake originally. He was an Australian Shepherd Poodle that was an accident. And then that person has only been breeding a few litters of Australian Shepherd Poodles every year since then. Wow. And so that's Marcel. And my mom's puppy is called Buddy. So he's a little bit smaller than Marcel, so little Buddy.
I love it.
Yep, so my mom has a new pup.
We'll need to see some pictures of Buddy as well.
Well, I'll be meeting him when I get back because he's only about 9 weeks old. My mom just got him.
And what color is he gonna be?
He's sort of a cross between Lincoln and Marcel in terms of color. And he's only going to be about 15 pounds. My mom wanted a smaller dog so she could pick it up and handle it. But Lincoln is about 35 pounds and Marcel is about 30 pounds now, fully grown. And Buddy will be about 15 pounds. So we have a new addition to the brood.
Oh, we love it. Well, we'll look forward to seeing pictures.
Yes. So we will be, it's going to take a while. The machine has to be calibrated and installed and calibrated and things like that. But I'm hoping we'll start introducing some basic products, things like Friendly Flora, an eye product, all different things that focus on different systems for our dogs. There'll probably at most be a half a dozen products or so, but they'll be coming out. They'll be additive free, of course.
And forgive me, because Judy, I missed what Judy also said. Judy's asking, can we sprinkle your caps now on their food?
That's exactly what I was talking about this the other day. With Lincoln and Marcel, Lincoln has always gotten, at least a few times a week, about a quarter of a capsule of Ultimate Eye. I give him a capsule of glucosamine every day, glucosamine chondroitin every day, 1 capsule, but Lincoln weighs 35 pounds. Also, occasionally when he's out running trails with me and things, and he might drink from a stream, I give him Ultimate Friendly Flora. So the ones I really focus on with Lincoln are things like the Ultimate Eye joints. I put marine collagen in their water pretty much every other day. So it's the systems that we focus on, and certainly our pets, their aging process is even more accelerated than our own. So as I talk about my products, I generally talk about the fact that it's our choice how gracefully we're going to age. So that's what our products are really all all about. Our healthy diet enhances the grace with which we age, and intelligent dietary supplementation can do the same. And the same applies to our dogs.
And that's maybe the perfect segue to our next very brief presentation on Fiber Mucil, a fiber product that people love, which seems just like a crazy statement, but it is true with nearly 1,000 five-star reviews. Andrew, people have come to love this.
Well, fiber, again, I think one of the things I have going for me is that so many products that are currently out on the market are so unpleasant to use that when someone stumbles upon a vitamin, and of all places stumbles upon a vitamin on television, I've now been doing this 28 years on television, but I remember when I was first doing this and people would say, I'd say, I'm offering vitamins on television, saying, well, are you going to be offering eggs, milk, and butter on television next? That it just seemed so strange. And certainly nowadays we buy just about anything and everything. So it's interesting that fiber is one of those products that is highly unpleasant to use when it's not created correctly. And then even when you look at a lot of the fiber drinks that you see at drugstores or supermarkets and things like that, the fiber beverages in that aisle of the store, many of them contain forms of fiber that are nothing more than byproducts of wood pulp metabolism. Wood pulping sort of industry, sort of hydroxypropyl methylcellulose or maltodextrin or things like that these are not what I consider natural sources of fiber. What we have here is just an ultra-fine powder of the husk of psyllium seed. It's just psyllium husk fiber. Ours is just as processed as cleanly as possible, and it's designed to be as gentle as possible. No gas, no bloating. It's one of those products that to use it is to appreciate it and to never want to be without it.
We're going to head over this way. A couple of quick ones. Andrew, somebody was asking, forgive me, I've lost their name, but somebody was asking if you've done any research into, in England we call it tinnitus. I think you say tinnitus here. Right,
tinnitus or tinnitus, yeah. Again, there's no dietary supplement that can help with tinnitus or tinnitus, but to the extent there's research on, say, in fact, I talked about this the other day, there's good research with CoQ10 and helping our ears handling loud noise and the consequences of exposure to loud noises. So certainly it doesn't mean it could cure, treat, or prevent tinnitus in any fashion. But things like CoQ10, things like omega-3s, they're essential nutrients that can at least have a role in how your body manages, maintains, and does all that it can to repair those tissues.
And again, if you have any questions, I'm trying to get through them as best I possibly can, but if you go to our HSN Facebook page, you'll see we're streaming live. I'm able to see and review all these comments and questions, and there's a lot. I promise you I'll do my very best. We do need to stop the show for just a second, though, to remember and remind everyone that all of the 22nd anniversary pricing is expiring tonight. So maybe you saw Andrew this past weekend or last weekend and there was a product, a supplement, a vitamin that you were considering purchasing. This will be your last chance to take advantage of that special pricing and also to, of course, take advantage of the extended return policy, which we're so proud of as well.
I just saw a good question here. Someone was asking if there's a difference between lysine and L-lysine, and her doctor recommended taking 1,000 milligrams. I suspect a lot of doctors recommend lysine potentially for an antiviral kind of role, but L-lysine is lysine. You'll often see with amino acids and certain, when they're naming a specific molecule or a specific substance, you'll often see a D or an L or sometimes a D and an L before that. Those are just from the Latin, dextro and levo, and it just has to do with what's called stereoisomers. In nature, molecules are three-dimensional by their very nature in nature. So just as I couldn't put a right-handed glove on my left hand, even though my hands are identical, the same thing in nature. You have to make sure your molecules are the proper handedness. So L in terms of lysine is by its very, that's the natural form of lysine. So all lysine, no one's making, as far as I know, a D lysine. So all lysine is L lysine. And just like when we talk about L-carnitine, that's the appropriate form of carnitine. You don't want D-carnitine or DL-carnitine.
Well, we're going to spend a few minutes talking, and I wrote it down here, Andrew, the #1 most highly reviewed and reordered product with, at the time I wrote this, 4,000 or so perfect 5-star ratings. I believe it's above that, over 4,300 healthy hair, skin, and nails.
Well, what's nice about healthy hair, skin, and nails is in the last 20 some odd years, the price has gone down and the potency has gone up. So it's sort of like coenzyme Q10 when I first introduced it. I had to speak about all of its benefits to sort of overcome the resistance to its price. But now when we talk about healthy hair, skin, and nails, it's become pennies a day. It's a product that originally you had to take 2 or more capsules every day. Some folks would take 2 to 4 or 2 to 6 capsules a day. Now, you take 1 or 2, no more than 2, and I'd say half the folks using it take 1. So it's become a product that's literally just pennies a day. I think it's about 15 cents a day at 1 capsule. So it's become incredibly affordable. It also contains 8 times the potency of biotin. We've added more MSM, so it really has become a far more comprehensive product than ever before. So as much as the reviews speak of its benefits and as affordable as it's become, I think it's a hard proposition, hopefully, to resist, especially this time of year, with a money-back guarantee that goes until January 31st.
We did get a few questions about acetyl L-carnitine and if we will be presenting it, and I do believe we are going to present it for a short time. I think so. We'll
talk about that briefly, yes. And acetyl L-carnitine, we'll talk about it briefly, both for its role potentially in fat-burning metabolism, but also its role in supporting healthy brain function. So both roles.
Please keep an eagle eye out for that one. It kind of comes and goes really quickly. Healthy hair, skin, and nails is about us feeling great and feeling wonderful, especially this time of year. It might be the office party, it might be seeing friends or family. With healthier hair and skin and nails, it gives you.
No, but it's like me. I desperately...
You're the poster child.
I desperately need a haircut. And it's normally I try to come here after having had a haircut,
right.
but I didn't successfully accomplish that. So
on first Friday, you just had a haircut.
Yes, but that was did I first? That was a while ago.
That was 2, 3, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have a haircut first Friday. No, I haven't had a haircut I think since July.
Oh my, since July?
Yes, it's been a while, about 3 months. I used to go. I get 2 or 3 haircuts a year. I was very bad. I'm not the most. I don't pay a lot of attention to those sorts of things, but I definitely need a haircut, and I'll make sure that when you see me next, my hair will be more appropriate.
I just thought you were letting your hair down.
No, it's like literally or figuratively letting my hair down. Both. But our healthy hair, skin, and nails, again, what I often say is that we don't really think about it this way because we focus on those tissues on the outside of our body. On the outside of our body, they are dead tissues. We're finished producing them. What you see is what you get. All we can basically do is do our very best to dress them up, to hold on to them, preserve them. But when it comes to changing their actual appearance, their beauty, their strength, their quality, that only takes place inside our body. And our product has proven itself year after year after year. The unique biotin we deliver, the way we deliver it, all of the full complement of other nutrients, that this product is designed to work, and it's gotten better and better reviews as time has gone on.
And when it says in our graphic details that you'll see a visible difference in 30 days or less, I mean, we mean it. It really, really does. You'll see a huge difference. Guys, we're going to head over here. I know that as we kind of keep on going through, I see a lot more questions coming on in. I'll ask Andrew in a few moments some more. I see also Justo was talking about incredible results with Choco Nouveau, so congratulations to you. Remembering as well, if you have any specific questions that we are not addressing, on the back of the bottles of Andrew's vitamins, there is a phone number, a 1-800 number to ProCaps, which is Andrew's company, where there's a team of experts who are able to guide you through some of the questions that you may have in your mind.
And that's, I'm not sure in this day and age, I know I get frustrated when I'm buying something online or doing something online and you can't even find a phone number.
Right.
Right. We really want to talk to you.
People don't want to hear from you. It's
exactly,
crazy.
No, but we want to, because we understand that you're going to, and there you are, that's upstairs.
Look at this lady.
Oh, we have walking desks.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
I mean, my gosh, I would trust Andrew Lessman's call center to have walking desks.
No, it's great. It's
brilliant.
It's more time we spend standing or less time we spend sitting is better. We want to kind of break things up.
I love it.
So, and we have standing desks as well. But I intend that when you get our product, that's hopefully just the beginning of the relationship, and that whatever you might need from us, whatever your doctor might need from us, we can provide that information. So you should never hesitate to call us. Hopefully when you reach us, whoever you're speaking to is really happy to talk to you. And the feedback that I get is exactly that. So I'm thrilled that we have this opportunity not just to provide you with products, but also to provide you with information. So hopefully breathe life into the use of that product.
Jordan, even I can answer this one. The answer to your question is...
Even you.
Even I. The question is, what's the best product to help relax your brain and help you sleep? It's called Nighttime. We featured it earlier in the show. That's going to be great for you.
But also paying attention, as I was talking about too, you can go online, and I'm sure if you just did a little research on the phrase sleep hygiene,
yes,
you could find some great information on things to do to really, we have to pay attention to that environment. We can't be using electronic devices and things before we go to sleep. If you're going to read a book, read a real book, not electronic devices. So it's so important. If we want to reclaim the way we used to sleep, we have to think about how we used to live, and then we start having an opportunity to do that.
One quick one. Somebody's asking, can I take fiber and the flora together?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, with our Fiber Mucil, we put a small amount of something called Lactobacillus sporogenes. It's what's called a spore-forming probiotic. So we've always done that.
Okay.
So, and fiber is the perfect food for probiotics, for friendly flora. In fact, those of us who eat a healthier diet have healthier flora. That our flora, if anything, so for many of us, what do we say? We feed our pets and treat our pets better than we treat ourselves. Maybe if we looked at our friendly flora